back to the finish line with Bree Fansteel and James Rowland on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
Okay, we are live. Here we are at 93.7 The Ticket, the finish line. Getting tiny bit late start here because we are launching Ticket 2 tonight. What does that mean? That means that we are live on digital while we also have post-game coverage for the Supernovas and Grand Rapids and the volleyball post-game. So welcome into the finish line on 93.7 The Ticket with James Rowland, Bree Fansteel, and I'm Rebecca Pearson, joined by our guest, Tomik Young. Here we are. Okay, ladies and gentlemen, start your engines. Bree, James, how was it this weekend? What you been doing since last week when we had Shaylee Bate on?
Oh, boy. So lots of racing happening. Were you interested in what I was doing?
I was interested in what you were doing.
Okay. Well, here's how the circuit went. As a first-time car owner, team owner, and somewhat of a driver sometimes, it was a little rough. It was rougher than I was expecting, but I think the hard times are going to make the good times that much better. We had some problems with, figuring out setup on my end, shaking some rust off. Went to US 30 Columbus Speedway. Didn't quite get the finishes that we were looking for, but I did get some more data from it. So going into Saturday, I went over to Eagle Raceway where Cole Wayman, absolutely, like I said he would, kicked my butt. You'll hear about that later. We had more fun. I think the rain really affected a lot of the tracks. They're pretty bumpy, but at the same time, we're all racing on the same surface. And the track promoters, they're doing their very best to get the tracks at least in a raceable condition for us. I just had a part malfunction occur, so that took me out of contention for Saturday. But I still, at the end of the day, got more data, had some fun, sling some dirt, and then James also had some fun.
I did, but I always have fun. Unfortunately, my race weekend did not start out very fun. I had plans on going to Boone County Raceway Friday night to go check out the Race Saver sprint cars down there with my buddy Ryan Kump on the mic. Unfortunately, the school that I work at had a family fun night, and they needed the crew to be there, so I had to stay home. Checked out the action from Beatrice on IMCA TV. Got to do a little bit of listening to that, and then Saturday night cruised over to Eagle Raceway. I walked through the gate with an intent, and it was definitely mission accomplished. We had a great broadcast, and I enjoyed a few too many of them barley pops.
He was big pimping in the pits.
Oh, really? What exactly were you doing since we weren't all there? Paint the image for us.
Do share.
So
yes.
I've always been one of those guys that's not a huge fan of people with giant boom tube speakers on their quads and stuff. But over the winter, I got some new Bluetooth speakers for the garage and decided, you know what? We're going to go ahead and go be big pimpin' boombox in the pit area. So the rack on the back of my quad fits two of those speakers perfectly with a nice big Yeti knockoff cooler.
It was meant to be.
Yeah, it definitely keeps the beers good and cold. And people were a little bit surprised with some of my musical taste, kind of like Mark Martin recently revealed. I definitely can get down to the rap and hip hop. Oh, Mark Martin was goated after that one.
All right. So were you like the traveling musician down the pit row post game, beer in the back, boombox, and people are dancing in the aisles? Is that kind of thing? Dancing in the pits?
I don't know. Maybe a little bit.
Okay.
If it was.
I saw him go by. I was like, that's my co-host.
No,
Nice.
I kind of have a rule when I go to the pits afterwards. It's dark. I don't see the greatest in the world. So I have a rule. So if you ever need me to stop, I need you to just yell James and I'll stop. So I stop, and about every stop you pop another top. And,
Okay.
I brought the dogs out. I keep the camper out there during the summer. So I didn't drive home or anything. I just made sure to camp out, and I woke up and cut the grass around the camper and home and laid on the couch all day because I definitely was feeling it.
Well, that sounds like fun. So I didn't even know that went on in the pits. So every time we get together, the three of us, I learn something new about how you race dirt track.
Oh, you got to
And-
come out and hang out with us
I
after the races
will.
sometime.
I will. I usually bail, trying to beat the traffic, getting out, especially out of Eagle, trying to get out back on O Street.
Stay far after the traffic
Okay.
and just hang out.
All right. Well, we've got stories, and our guest today, Tomek Young, is going to tell us stories about all kinds of interesting places that most of us have never been. We are at 93.7 The Ticket, the finish line. We are on Twitter, Facebook, Twitch, YouTube, and you can text or don't call us tonight because we're on digital only, but you can text us or text in or chat on YouTube if you have questions today for us or for our guest. So let's start with another celebration from today. It is Mother's Day. I don't know if you guys did anything special for Mother's Day. And the most important celebration of the day is it's Ben's birthday. So Ben is our producer who you can't see tonight. He's really behind the curtain, but thank you, Ben, for managing all of the electronics for us tonight, and happy birthday to you. So, and happy Mother's Day to all those mothers out there. It's been a great day, beautiful weather here in Lincoln. Okay. So let's start with a race roundup before we get to introducing our very special guest, Tomek Young. Are you guys ready to give a little race roundup?
Heck yeah.
All right, let's do it.
Alrighty. Well, I got to watch the super fun Lucas Oil Late Model Series this weekend, and what do you know? Ricky Thornton Jr. picks up his third consecutive late model win at the Lucas Oil Series, or in the Lucas Oil Series. It looks like it was at Fairbury, $30,000 to win. We're gonna have to add up how much money he's getting.
Yeah, not bad.
I swear that guy can get into anything and drive. And then we also had Brett Marks put on quite the show in only his 22nd start in at the Tri-City Speedway in the high limit sprint race. He started sixth, then rightfully taking his throne past the checkered flag. He had an incredible drive off the bottom, it looked like, when he was working through traffic and 3 and 4, and then was running the high side in 1 and 2. It was almost like he was going the opposite way of everyone else, and it was just sticking. And once he got out to the front, he ripped the lip. It looked like he got into the wall a little bit exiting 4, and there might have been some damage in the right rear somewhere. It wasn't quite handling right, but even after a yellow flag, he went green. He finished out strong, and he collected that check. So that was pretty cool to see.
Pretty exciting.
Oh yeah.
Now, do you like late models?
I love late models so much.
Because you drive a sport mod for people who don't know, right?
And if all the stars aligned, I would jump to the late model so fast.
Yes. Well, I think that could be something you can aspire to.
Oh, 100%.
Absolutely. All right. Excellent. All right. How about you, James? What you got?
Well, let's see. Starting off, after a 3-hour rain delay last weekend, we saw the closest finish in NASCAR Cup Series history. Kyle Larson picking up the win over at the Kansas Speedway. I believe, of course, I didn't write it down, Corey Heim had won the truck race the day prior. And then I went home from the studio last Sunday and checked out the action from the Dirt Crown Stock Car Summer Series over at the Dawson County Raceway, where Dylan Thompson picked up the win in the hobby stocks. Modifieds went to Jordan Grabowski. Sport mods went to Brandon Spanger. Little side note on that, Brandon Spanger and his wife Kate just had a baby. Baby's first trip to the racetrack. Dad picks up a win.
Oh, that's so perfect. I love that.
Yeah, it worked out very well.
Very cool.
And then the Dirt Crown Stock Car Summer Series winner was Casey Woken. He's been coming over from Iowa and just eating those guys' lunch. Moving on to Thursday, Bree was there over at the home of Thursday Night Thunder, and that Thursday it was home of Sunshine Clouds and that new Abe's US 30 beer. The winners over there on Thursday night in your late models was Anthony Roth, hobby stocks Jason Wilkinson, James Roebuck won the sport mod. Stock cars went to Jeff Ware, and the Crown Victoria class. This maybe we need to get a 93.7 The Ticket race car.
Oh, I like it.
The Crown Vic class takes your, hopefully none of us have been in them, but that's what used to be a pretty common car.
Yes, very popular car.
It's a strictly stock class. You have to run a street tire. You can't make any altercations to the motor, and you cannot have competed in racing prior or within, I believe there's a certain time frame. I'd have to talk to Bobby Lincoln about the exact rules, but a
Like a
great
rookie
new class down there. Yeah.
Okay. Mm-hmm.
you definitely cannot have won in anything before. I know that that's part of the rules. Let's see who else won over there Thursday night. Oh, the Crown Vics. That was Christopher Nicolite. Beatrice Speedway on Friday had 3 makeup features to get taken care of. In the sport mods, it was Tyler Nayrud, Modifieds, Trey Dunsing, and your hobby stocks went to Dylan Richards. Then they transitioned into Friday night's portion of the program. Jordan Grabowski picked up the win in the Modifieds. Taylor Metz in the sport mods, Jordan Grabowski in the stock cars, and Dylan Richards in the hobby stocks, with the compacts going to Kaylee Richards. As we talked about a little bit earlier over at Boone County Raceway in Albion, Nebraska, your sport mod winner was Cameron Myers. Stock cars went to TJ Melke. Hobby stocks, Travis Landauer. Late models, Tyler Iverson. Stars mod lights, they had a lot of classes down there on Friday night. That was Corey Sonner, and your Race Saver sprint car victory went to Joey Danley. That brings us over to Saturday night, McCool Junction, right down the road in McCool Junction, Nebraska. Late models went to Dylan Schmier. Rebo. Matt Andrews picked up the sport mod victory. Hobby stocks went to Dylan Thompson. So a great week for Dylan Thompson. Compacts went to Kaylee Richards, a great week for her. They also run the Crown Victorias over at the McCool Junction Speedway, and that went to Tyler Rajewski. Off-Road Speedway in Norfolk ran Anthony Roth, another guy picking up a win in the late models. Stock car Cameron Wilkinson, hobby stock Nick Kimmel, sport mod James Roebuck, and your pro stock 4, I don't know what those are, went to Trent Reed. Then we go right down the road to Eagle Raceway. Hobby stocks went to Ryan Gilland. Modifieds in a heck of a feature. Bob Zobek was duking it out with Dustin Anderson right down to the line. I actually got to call races with Tom Grosso last night.
Really?
Yeah, he popped into the booth.
I love that.
Okay, so for those of us who can't ooh and ah with you, who is Tom Grosso?
So when I first started at Eagle Raceway as a pit reporter, the main 2 announcers were Stan Caesar, who's currently battling some health issues. So we're definitely thinking of you out there, Stan. Stan and Tom were the 2 main guys in the booth.
Okay.
And over the years, Tom, everybody gets older, needs to take a little bit of time away. So Tom kind of stepped away. He's still the main announcer over at the Mini E Raceway on Friday night, which is, of course, the go-kart track in the infield. And Tom's just a legendary announcer from the days back at Sunset Speedway in Omaha. Before that was wrongfully taken for a housing development that still hasn't had housing developed. But I digress. But it was so great to have Tom back in the booth with us, and it worked out perfectly. Our pit reporter, PJ Pedersen, wow, that's a lot of P's in a row. He was down at a derby event at the Ottawa Dragway. So Dan was running up and down the stairs to catch feature winner interviews after each race. And finally, after the third one, he's like, Tom, here's a headset. Just call some races for the rest of the night. And yeah, it was great to have Tom back. So Ryan Gillen picked up the win. Bob Zobek in the modified sport mods went to Kid Lightning Cole Wayman. Bree, you talked about it a little bit last week. That's a guy that when you see the door drop on that trailer, you know he's going to be one tough customer. Picked up the win and the hard charger bonus. I believe 18th to first, 16th to first?
I think 16th.
All right, 16th to first. Let's see. Sprint cars, of course, Trevor Grossenbacher in stunning fashion. I mean, he was borderline flag to flag on that one. And then in your stock cars, Tommy Etherton picked up a win. He's another one of those guys jumping out of the sport mod division, only having 5 or 6 shows in and getting your first win out of the way. Pretty good stuff for Tommy Etherton. And then today and this weekend, we've been watching the NASCAR Cup Series, Xfinity Series, and Truck Series, as well as the ARCA Menard Series at the Nashville Fairgrounds. William Sawalich, I included that one mostly because I just love saying that name. Truck win went to a Cup Series regular, Ross Chastain. Of course, they were over at the Darlington Raceway. It's throwback weekend over there. Justin Allgaier picked up the win in the Xfinity Series. And today, Brad Keselowski snapped a big, long winning streak over at the Darlington Raceway. Yesterday, we saw the NTT IndyCar Series. Alex Palou picked up the checkered flag in that one. Formula One off this weekend.
Yes, it is. But we're going to fill that gap of Formula One with our guest right after we give a shout out to our sponsors. So speaking of having a ticket, 93.7 ticket car, we do have one with Mike Boston, number 51, who races at Eagle Raceway. And Bree, you know Mike Boston. What do you know him for?
Mike we're going to, a dang good sponsor. I almost cursed there.
Yes.
Sorry, guys. He's a a dang good welder. The guy knows what he's doing. He's with Eagle Chassis, right?
Yeah, Eagle
So
Chassis.
those
8-time champion at Eagle Raceway.
Yeah.
Yes.
He
Mhm.
can drive the wheels off of
Yes,
anything.
he can.
Mike definitely knows what he's doing. He's been in the car. He's been outside of the car working on the car. He's been building the cars. So it's definitely important when you're out on the track that you know what you're driving is gonna make it through to the next lap. Gonna make it through to the checkered flag. So I would definitely hit him up. You can text him or message him on Facebook.
Yep.
And he's really easy to get a hold of. So I would contact him if you have any questions at all, even if you're just curious. Give him a message, see what he's about. He will prove he's worth it.
Great job. So, Mike Boston, thank you for sponsoring our race roundup. We also have our show sponsors from the finish line. Eagle Raceway. What's your standard shout out for Eagle Raceway, James? Can you do it? on
Eagle
command?
Raceway, one badass racetrack, the world's fastest third mile dirt oval, and just a little slice of heaven just east of Nebraska.
There you go. We got a chuckle out of Tomic, and Stern Company is our primary sponsor. Stern carries ExxonMobil lubricants and fuels for trucks and cars, and what a great segue into introducing our guest, Tomic Young, who's the Global Motorsports Technology Manager at ExxonMobil, where I formerly worked, if you guys follow me. And welcome to the show, Tomic. How are you?
I am well. Thank you for having me, guys.
Oh, absolutely. All right. You got to get ready to have some fun because the last two shows we talked about lizards, prom dresses. We had a pig.
Pigs, yeah.
Everything car related, right?
Yes, all car related, though. Absolutely. So,
What do you mean by we had a pig?
yes. Oh, yes. Well, we didn't get the picture posted. We got the picture of the lizard, but we didn't get. Oh my gosh! Yeah, we got to get the picture of the pig being chased by the gator, which is
Oh, well.
four-wheeler kind of thing. Anyway, so welcome to the fun show. Hopefully, you get to let your hair down a little bit. Oh, no hair. Okay,
Oh,
that's not
It's
working.
you had to do it.
Oh, he's been like that as long as I've known him. So
It's aerodynamics, right?
I've known
Yeah.
Tomic for 15 years or more. I can't remember, Tomic, when we first met. But it's great to have you on the show. Great to have someone talk about Formula One who understands it the way you do, in addition to racing and everything else. So that's my little bit of an introduction. Why don't you tell us who you are and what you do and how you got there?
Well, so my profession is a lot more boring than what you guys do now, announcing, but I work behind the scenes, work on lubricants and fuels for racing.
And what kind of racing, though? It's not just racing.
Yeah, we try to be in all of the disciplines. We have a strategy of world domination a bit, and currently we do everything from MotoGP through NHRA to Formula One, WRC, sports cars as well.
Yep. And so you do all kinds of cars, including there's some dirt track because of our connection with Tony Stewart, correct?
And absolutely. And yeah, we do quite a bit in North America, and all of the, series that make motorsports so big and popular are important to us.
Right. So for people who don't know, what team is ExxonMobil associated with, and what team do you work with on a day in and day out basis?
So, all of our teams are very important to us, and I tend to not even single them out, but the one that's, so prominent right now is definitely Oracle Red Bull Racing.
Right. And Red Bull has the number one, number two drivers in Formula One. They are in the lead for drivers and for the constructors as well. So you are with the number one team in the world for Formula One, which, if you're looking at technology, you'd probably say it's the premier racing. It may not be everybody's favorite, but it's probably the most technologically advanced, or at least that's what people say. Correct?
Right. I think everybody aspires for this best technology, and Bree just mentioned, the welder and the talents that are needed to do it. I think what differentiates Formula One is maybe the number of people you have. Hundreds of people supporting the team, which makes the technology a bit more sophisticated, since there's one guy designing pedals, one guy designing the steering wheel, one guy designing buttons, a woman supporting, for example, formulations, which we do with Fiona, and etc. So I think it's just so many people working that it results in something that's closer resembles maybe like a spaceship versus a car.
Wow. That's excellent. Well, I think that's a great introduction, Tomek, to what you do. We're going to come back. We're going to take a break. We're probably going to switch locations, or are we going? I think our main.
Go like 2 more minutes.
Yeah. Okay. Awesome. So let me ask you something just before we go to a break. We might even switch backgrounds on you. We're having fun tonight. So you obviously are not from America. Tell us a little bit about your growing up. I know the story, but I like the story of you and how you got to and how you got to this job, because you did not have this job when I met you.
Yeah, it's so many stories, but so I come from Poland. And actually, Mobil 1 is a part of this whole story, which is crazy enough. So I come from Poland, and I ended up in the US because of my wife, whom I met in Yellowstone National Park. So we met as we were traveling the West. She actually ended up moving to Poland. That's where we got married. And then we decided to, mix things up a bit, decided to move to the US. And right when I was about halfway through my degree work, I decided to start applying for jobs. And, I had in mind all these evil companies, maybe like an investment bank. Certainly ExxonMobil was one of them. And I knew at the time, ExxonMobil was a producer of Mobil 1. And the reason I knew about it all is that the marketing team in Poland did an excellent job. From the time I was really young, they associated the brand with really this cool image. So on the back of a magazine, maybe you would have a rally racer and Mobil 1, or perhaps you would have a picture of a beautiful Mercedes sedan with a logo of Mobil 1. So I was well aware of the brand. And so I came to interview in a place where Mobil 1 was developed, which at the time was Paulsboro, New Jersey. And they took me on a tour, and we were walking the hallways, and I started asking questions about Mobil 1, and they said, Tomek, we can't tell you. These are, proprietary details. And it was a great day. Towards the end of the day, I think my 5th interviewer was my first boss, but his name is Reda. And Reda, at the very end of the interview, says, Tomek, good luck to you. It was nice meeting you. And I'm like, oh my gosh, I'm not getting this job. So they put me, I'm almost feel drunk after a full day of these interviews and seeing everything. They put me in a taxi on the way to the airport, and I call my wife. I say, Mickey, it's the coolest place, but I'm definitely not getting the job. However, a few months later, I got the call, Tomek, would you like to join us in Paulsboro? And this is how it all started, but how I got into motorsports is a little bit of a different story.
Awesome. Well, we'll take a break there. Great introduction. More to come on that story anyway, because that's about the time I met you. Maybe you'd been there a couple of years. I can't remember. What year did you join the company?
2010.
Yeah, 2010. So that would have been when I met you. So excellent. All right, we're going to take a break, and we will pick back up here in just a few minutes. Join us here for 93.7 The Ticket, The Finish Line, in just a couple of minutes. We'll be right back.
Garage doors can be expensive. Are you keeping yours in the best condition possible? This is Cameron Hall with Doors Plus. Doors Plus is a locally owned business that prides itself on the fast, reliable, and friendly service. Doors Plus offers flexible scheduling so you can book an appointment that fits your busy day. My team and I will come out to your property, both commercial and residential, and provide you with the necessary information you need to make sure your garage door is in working and smooth condition. Give Doors Plus a call today at 402-590-5800 to book an appointment and learn more about our preventative maintenance plans. Doors Plus, garage doors, and more.
Unearth the secret to long-lasting tires at Tread's Central Tire Pros, a league apart in commitment, service, and expertise. This isn't just about rubber meeting the road, but trust, safety, and surety converging in perfect harmony. This is where expectations are exceeded every time. Make your appointment today at Tread's Central Tire Pros, just south of Cortland on Highway 77, or visit our website to explore our services. Remember, when it comes to tires, choose Tread's Central Tire Pros because we tread differently.
At Doane University, we build leaders, and that means your success and achievements come first.
At Doane University, your future is uniquely yours, and our world-class liberal arts education is just the beginning.
We invite you to schedule your campus visit
is $8,000 off list on select new GMC and Chevrolet inventory. So please make that money-saving drive to Coppell in Louisville, or check us out online at coppellcars.com. You'll be glad you did. All deals with approved credit, must trade, and finance.
Perch Merch is your one-stop shop for all your printing and promotional needs in Lincoln, Nebraska. They specialize in screen printing, embroidery, vehicle wraps, window wraps, print collateral, promotional products, and signage. At Perch Merch, they are committed to delivering high-quality products and exceptional customer service. Their experienced team of designers and printing professionals will work with you every step of the way to ensure that your vision is realized. Call for a quote today at 402-217-5212 or go to perch-merch.com.
Hi, I'm Senator Bo Ballard. I was born and raised in Lancaster County, learning the value of hard work and grit at a young age. I built my own company, creating jobs right here in our community. I know that families and businesses in our community need lower taxes, lower cost of healthcare, and a great education. That's why, as your senator, I helped pass the largest tax cut and made the most significant investment in education in Nebraska history and worked to reduce the cost of healthcare. I'm Senator Bo Ballard, and I humbly ask for your vote on May 14th. Paid for by Ballard for Nebraska.
It's the best time of the year to order a new John Deere sprayer during Landmark Implement's Fast Start Early Order program. Leverage the industry's latest technology with See & Spray to target weeds in season in corn and soybeans and use less herbicide per acre. Utilize Exact Apply to save in chemical usage and prevent over-application. Now is the time to lock in the best price of the year during Landmark Implement's Fast Start Early Order program. Contact your local Landmark location for full details and experience the Landmark difference.
If you're a homeowner or a business owner, you have a lot of projects, and no one has an unlimited budget or time. Sunbelt Rentals makes all jobs less stressful with no need to purchase large equipment or hire a crew. You can do it yourself with rentals and everything from aerators and power rakes for spring yard work to stump grinders, concrete mixers, tile saws, and more. Check out their inventory in Lincoln, north of Cornhusker Highway on 56th Street, or online at sunbeltrentals.com.
Are you looking to get into the electrical construction industry or wanting a new scene? The Electrical Workers of